everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel for those who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers that may be visiting for the first time. I've just had a little bit of a clean up in my space, and I'm ready to move on to my next project. Been trying to figure out what to do first, so I'd like to do some side tucks for, it's actually the second last sheet of the pages in each signature. So I have some brown cardstock here. It's just I can grab it for you. It's a brown card that I grabbed from, I buy from Bargain Buys, and it doesn't have, okay, this is it here. So it's just a craft cardstock, and I really love the colour of the brown in this card. So I've decided to create some side tucks using this as my base. And because my sheets were A4 size, I don't have to cut them in height, but I do have to cut them in width. So I'm thinking I will make them 2 inches wide. So I just want to do one and check it for size. I'm thinking it will be roughly a third. Yeah, I think that's good. So I'm going to cut 2 more at 2 inches. I've cleaned a bit of space off my desk this morning, so that's been amazing. I'm hoping it stays like that. Who knows? When I get busy, things start to shift in my space. Okay, so that gives me 3 at 2 inches. And then I'm thinking either book paper or music paper. So just grabbing some book paper. I don't actually know the height of these. It's about 8 1/4. So if I do 7 3/4 in height, I'm thinking. I'm not quite sure this book paper will be tall enough, so I just want to check the height. And it's not. Okay, so I might grab some music paper, I'm thinking. I don't have another book here close by that I can use, so what do I have here? It's got pencil marks on it. I think I like that one. Okay, I think this is quite frail. So I said 7 3/4, didn't I? I'm just going to take off the top. this edge. It's almost shredding the paper. So 7 3/4. And then, where did I put my, this was 2 inches. So I'm thinking 1.5. I might do it this way. So 1.5. Sorry, I feel like I'm talking really quietly. I'm quite cold at the moment. As I said, we've had a cool change here, and I think I'm still acclimatizing. Quite blowing a gale outside. I just looked outside and the sun has come out, but it is really cold. There's a chill factor in the wind. Okay, so that's at 1.5, and they will sit in the middle. And then, so I've come in 1/4 of an inch on either side. So that was 7 3/4, I believe. So I want 7 1/4. Now I have this paper here. I believe it's from AntiquePaperie, sorry. And I'm not quite sure why I did 2 on one sheet, but I found it here when I was going through my papers a moment ago and decided it would probably work quite well for this little project. So I'm going to give it a go and see how it comes out. And I'm just warning you, I'm in the mood for some collage. So my next video, my next little project may be, or my next couple of videos may be some collage pieces. I feel like playing. So I really like this blue on this side. Okay, so I'm turning it around. And what should I say? Oh, I need to check the height. So 7 1/4. And it's almost perfect. It's not quite 7 1/4, but it's probably 1/4 of an inch off. So basically I want it to sit in there quite well, and I think it will. So that's perfect. And this was 1.5, so I'm thinking about 1 inch strips for this. So I'm going to take 2 from this sheet and then 1 from the other sheet, I'm thinking. And I quite often make these little tucks out of, sorry, trying to decide where to put that little scrap. I often make these out of the paper pad that I'm using, but in this instance my paper orientation has an orientation. Sometimes they don't. It doesn't matter which way the pattern goes, but these do. And sorry, just cleaning up the scraps on my desk space. And because of the way I've cut the strips, I looked at these So the orientation would have been wrong. So I think I might use these for pockets at the bottom of the pages, because they have these. I mean, that would make a beautiful pocket. So I'm thinking that's what I'll do. So now for the fun part, I need to ink all of these. My fingers don't feel like they're working properly. They're really cold. And this card also has different sides, like the paper color is different depending on which way it's flipped, and I prefer this. I think it's got a more natural tone to it, whereas this is a bit more, I don't know if it's a yellow or, but I do like this side, so that's what I'm going with. Although having said that, I think, I'm not sure if that, sorry, I'm just checking it against my tea stain. It does look quite pretty with the tea stain. Maybe I will use that side. Sorry, I just had a flashback to another time that I used it and I had turned it around the other side and decided it might be nice that way around. I'm wondering if it's almost time for me to add some re-inker to my pad, my ink pad. Maybe it's cold like me. Okay, I'm going to turn that over before I forget. I've been watching some amazing crafters on YouTube lately, and I don't know, they continue to inspire me. I don't know how they do it. And I don't have enough hours in my day to watch all of the videos I want to watch. Well, to watch the videos I want to watch and to play as well. I could probably, you know, go into full-time video watching with all of the talent that's out there. I'm starting to feel like I'm getting a little bit more organized in my space, so that makes me really happy because I've had chaos here. I've almost been tripping on things, trying to work out what to do. I've had a couple of little storage solutions that I've put into play. So one was the cupboard that you saw I had repainted. So that's starting to be very useful. And I did grab, last time I went to town, I bought a set of plastic drawers. Plastic drawers are not my favourite thing in the world. I don't like to incorporate too much plastic into my workspace if I can get away with it. But I decided it was going to be a necessary evil. This paper's really frail. It's tearing across the top. So I need to be a little bit gentle with it. Yes, I've been toying with whether or not to go with the plastic, and they had this set of drawers at Spotlight on sale this week, and I decided, I actually looked at them, I don't know if it was on the weekend or the end of last week, it may have been, when hubby and I went to Wagga and noticed they were on sale, and I picked them up. I was almost going to purchase them then, and I went, oh, I don't know if I want plastic. I don't know what I would use it for. Yes, they look handy, but I'm not sure. So I walked away, and I came home and the more I thought about it, the more I decided I knew what I could use it for. And then I was like, I should have got them. I really should have got them. They'll probably sell out before I get back over there again. Why didn't I just get them while I was there? So anyway, earlier this week I had to duck over. Was a last minute decision. And so I decided to go to Spotlight and have a look and see if they were still there. And the ones I was looking at were 3 drawers. Well, it turned out there was one 4 drawer that I didn't notice when I was over there last time. So I ended up getting the 4 drawer one, and I have transferred. I've got one of the tubs sitting next to me, and I'll show you that as soon as I finish inking this piece. Oh, I should have mentioned these AntiquePaperie images are just on copy paper. I've printed them on copy paper. They're not on photo paper. So, and for this purpose, that's fine. So I'll just show you my big tub. I decided it would be perfect to put my collage papers in, my little scraps and bits and pieces that I can use for collage. So I am actually really happy about it, because prior to now my scrap papers for collage work have been sitting in a suspension file, and it was actually a plastic suspension file, so it was slippery. And the more full the file became, the more trouble I had getting the paper to stay in there. And to be fair, it very rarely sat in the filing drawer because I use it all the time. And so it was often creating an avalanche on my desk or in my workspace, because the papers would start to slip, or they'd start to slip on the plastic, and next minute, bang. So I decided having it in a plastic tub was a much better option, and it'll be easy to clean. Like, you get a lot of paper dust, would you call that? Paper confetti doing what we do. So I decided that having the paper in the plastic tub meant that I could always lift it out and just clean out those little paper bunnies they are, if it got too much. So that was my storage solution. So I actually have, what did I put in there? I've got paper scraps in one for collage. I think I still have one that's empty, so I haven't decided what I'm putting in there. I'm using one for fabric. So the little bits of fabric that you saw me wash recently, I haven't actually ironed those yet, but I do have another lot in the drawer that had been washed and ironed. So I decided that that would be really handy to pop those in there, and they're nice and convenient. They're quite close to me for access. So I did consider putting smaller pieces of fabric in, but I found another little container here that is in my space that's not as big. It's also a little plastic container. It's actually a collapsible container that I got from Kmart. And I've decided to put my tiny little scraps in there for my fabrics. So yes, I have, oh, and the other one I have put some ribbons and laces in. I had some ribbons and laces on spools, or, you know, cylinders. So I've popped them in there. They roll around a lot because they're round, cylindrical. So I decided that was a good spot to keep those. So getting there slowly, starting to feel a little bit more organised, and I may actually know where things are when I need them. It's quite frustrating when you're wanting to craft and you have no idea where things are. So this is similar to, I just realised these are similar to the little tucks that we did. And as I said, I decided to do it this way because I do like the side pocket, but my paper was the wrong orientation. So I decided this would still give me that really lovely side pocket that was decorative because I had this beautiful AntiquePaperie paper on it, without using the paper pad. It would have messed with my, like, can you imagine if the little birdie was sideways? It wouldn't seem right. So I think these will be great. And again, you could do these with scraps of paper from your paper pad. I don't have a lot of scraps from this paper because I've done the size journal that I've done, which is perfectly okay with me because I really love the size. But the pad actually has a lot of pages in it with tags and things, which I wasn't expecting, rather than the beautiful pattern paper. So I haven't used a paper pad like that before. I've often had a lot of different pattern papers to choose from, so that's been interesting, we'll say. Usually I'm trying to use up scraps. Well, I'm actually looking for papers this time, which is very different. Oh goodness, I'm getting glue everywhere. I feel like I'm talking too much and not paying attention to what I'm doing. It's actually really pretty. And one more. Let's see if I can use some of that glue instead of wasting it. Sorry, I did go quiet then, didn't I? I was glue watching, trying not to make a mess of it like I did last time. That page is getting tacky. Probably has something to do with the excess glue I've been leaving on it. So yeah, these side tucks aren't exactly what I was planning on doing, but when I looked at my papers and realised that the orientation of the leftovers was the wrong way, and I could have used the back of these papers, which would have been beautiful tucks, but I don't want to lose the beautiful imagery that's been left on the fronts of them, so that would break my heart. So the pockets that we make for the bottom of the pages, I'm thinking will be relatively... Oh, I need to move that before I make a big mess. I'm thinking they will be fairly simple because of the imagery that's there and not wanting to lose it, but I think they'll be fun too. Okay, so they're my little side pockets done. And we can put those in my box. We can go ahead and do these side bottom pockets as well while I've got the camera on. I think, yes, I'm only at 26 minutes. So to get that writing in, hoping you can see okay, I may have to take a snippet off this side, so, but that's okay. I want that text in there. I've saved it, so I need to make good use of it. So just getting my paper trimmer. I'm going to take it off about there. I don't even think that's like 1/16, or it might be 1/16, I think, that I'm taking off. It's not a lot. And just going to check my page size. So my page is 5 3/4. So I'm thinking 5 5/8. And I'm just going to check and see, and that cuts the S off. So I'll go 5 3/4 and I'll have a look at that. That's right on the edge. Okay, what if I go 6? Right. So I'm cutting that at 6. Not ideal, but then if I do 5 3/4 on that side, oh my goodness, that's so pretty. I feel like I need to take off another 1/4 of an inch just... No, that might be okay. It's going to get tight in here, but I'm thinking if I sew it or glue it, it's going to have an edge on there anyway that won't be accessible. So if it gets caught slightly in the binding, depending on how fat the book is, it won't matter. So I'm going to leave it like that, I think. It's so pretty. So 5 3/4, we've done that. So for this one, I'd like the butterfly. So we're cutting 5 3/4. And for this one, oh golly, which side? They're both beautiful. I'm not sure I'll get that text in if I go that way, so Oh, yes, I will. No, I won't. Can count. No, it cuts it off, so I might see if I can go 5 3/4, and it cuts it off right at that writing. So, oh, that's so pretty. Okay, so then my bottom pockets, and we'll see if we can have a little play. I don't want to do too much to them because they're pretty just as they are. But we'll see. I really need to get busy and ink my pages so I can start popping things into the journal. And usually when I do this process, I keep them in my little project box until I've inked the pages, and then as I'm creating things, I paperclip them into the book so that I get an idea of what will go where and what I need to fill or create something for to make it feel complete. So until I ink my pages, I'm not ready to put these in the book or in the journal rather, and see how it's all panning out. So kind of need to get I've had so many days with other things on, it's been crazy. Okay, so a bit of lace. So I've got this is one of my plastic tubs I'm just wondering about. I do wonder about that one. So I'll take that one out. Maybe this one. It's very fine. I think that's the same as the one I've just pulled out. I think this is too wide. That may be okay. We'll have a look at those. Sorry if I made you seasick then. Okay. So I'm thinking a smaller one for this one so that we don't cover up the words. I think that would be really pretty. Or, sorry guys. Or decisions. or that one. It's probably 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. I think I like the scalloped edge on that, so I'm going to go with that one. And I will sew these on, I think. So I'll go a little bit wider. I've got a paper clip. My scissors have become magnetic. I don't know what they've been against, but they're forever picking up paper clips off my desk. Okay. So that's that one. Just going to paper clip that on. And then this is so pretty. I'm wondering what that pink would look like, whether it's too much. Maybe it is. Although from memory it is a very soft pink once it's not doubled up. Come on, my pin. It's actually quite delicate, isn't it? It's the same pink that I have on my page edges. Or I actually think I like that more. I am quite partial to these crocheted laces. And it does cover up a little bit of the branch at the top, but there's so many pretty blossoms on there, I don't think that really matters. Okay, and this one, so I need to pin that back on. I think this is the wrong pink for this one. Actually, that one there. So there's that one, which I think is upside down. Not sure about that. Oh, this one here. Actually, I think I like that. I like the fact that it has little flowers across the top. So I'm going to go that way. Okay. And then fabulous. And I'll just tie this back on, or pin this back on. Okay. And I will pop that drawer away. Just bear with me, guys. Now, what was I thinking? I have these images here, and they are a little bit of a mixed bag. Actually, it's actually really pretty. So these images are from Noir Art, and you'll find their artwork on Instagram. The link will be below. And this artist creates the most beautiful mandalas. I think I like this size. So I like that one and that one. I don't know if you can see, this one here has little music notes incorporated into it. So adorable. Okay, so I'm going to go with those three. I'll just pop these ones back. And these have been printed onto that brown cardstock that we used for the side pockets that we just made. Okay. So, do I want something behind them? Thinking that one down there maybe. A little bit of cheesecloth maybe. I really like it on this one. And I don't know if I'm struggling with the others because it's covering some of the imagery. Okay, I need to ink these. I really love the music notes on this one. Maybe that would be better on this one. The green's the wrong green. I feel like it needs a pop. The pink is blending too much. Or where did I put those yesterday? Or I have little postage stamps that we made. Oh, I really like that. Well, yes, 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 yes. So perhaps this one here. I'm so sorry if you could hear my belly just then. It's getting very close to, well, I think it may be lunchtime actually. And apparently, I'm ready. Okay, what else do I have? I think that one's really pretty too. Oh, I think I like it there. think that's the wrong colour green. Definitely is. Okay, and I also have no. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. I feel like it needs something, but I don't know what. I like that, but I feel like it's too wide against that lace. So, what other fabric do I have? Oh, what about this? Not popping enough. Oops. You know what? I'm just feeling like I keep looking at the calico going, stay away, but it's my favorite. So, you know, I have to. Okay. Oh, guys, my belly. Goodness me, how embarrassing. I'm talking so that you can't hear it. Well, I'm hoping you can't hear it. Oh, yes, I think I like that. Why didn't I just look at the calico before? Okay, so that's a winner for that one. Am I going to love that just as much with the next one? Probably. Yes, yes I am. Okay, so I'm thinking I might sew around them. Maybe not. I don't know. This one I will, because I'm not even sure you can see this one. Sorry guys. So I think I know it covers his little tail, but if I pop it over here, I cover the words. So, oh, in actual fact, his tail is kind of cut off anyway, so it kind of hides that. So I might pop him there, and I'll sew that on around the outside of the picture. And I'm not going to put anything underneath that because it's got the fabric background. I don't know if you can tell. It's a postage stamp that we created using the calico as the stamp edge. So I think I'm going to leave it like that. And then, so this one here, they're quite well, let's just say they're not overdone as far as embellishing, but I think they'll be really pretty on the page. Like if we pop that there, and then you have a beautiful decorative tag coming out of it, I don't think it needs much more. And I don't want to cover up the pattern paper too much, so. And that's the last one. So I may sew around those when I pop them on, I think. And I'll show you when I'm finished. I'll see you soon. Bye. Okay, I decided to turn the camera back on and let you see my crazy sewing again. It's like, oh, it's the crazy sewing lady. But I felt like you weren't getting the full story of what I was doing if I didn't turn the camera back on, so hold your horses. Or hold your hats, I'm not quite sure. Here we go. And you're probably bouncing around a little bit, sorry, but the camera is actually on this table. I'm losing that part, but that's okay. Keeping in mind, I am not a sewer. I do it for journals, and that's about the extent of it. I was a little bit nervous about doing that, but I think I really like the way it came out. So that's how it looks when it's sewn, and I really, really like that. So oops, I might sew this lace on while I'm here. Just change into a zigzag. And I don't know about you, but I don't know if it's a non-sewer thing. When I am sewing something onto the edge of a piece of paper, I like my needle to be as close to the edge as, sorry. I'm not explaining myself very well. I like to start on the edge side of the sewing because I better check and make sure that that's actually the right way around, because I'm just looking at it and I don't feel like it is. It's not. Gosh, I'm glad I checked that. I like to start on the paper edge first because I get my needle placement much more accurate. A couple of times when I first started doing this, I started on the opposite side and I was either really, really close to the edge where my needle came across, or I was too far away, so that was why I decided to do it this way. Done. So I'm not meaning to pull that away so that you can't see. I'm trying to get the tension on the thread so I can cut it easily. It pulls it away from the paper. And I'm just I don't even know where I am. Okay, so that's one pocket done. so pretty. My next one, so back to straight stitching. And I don't want that calico too straight. Sorry, that's I need to hold it up differently. I forget that the camera is so very close to where I'm sewing. Oh, so very close. Pardon the pun. Okay, moving on. I'm not a comedian. Okay. I'm not a comedian and I'm not a sewer. So there you go. Oops. Itchy trigger finger. Oh my goodness. That was accidental. I need to lift my foot off the, I was going to call it an accelerator, off the pedal. I think I've messed up my bobbin. I have a little bit messy stitching underneath. Whoops a day. Seems to do that if I have to backtrack. It's like I confuse it. Okay, and back to my zigzag. Sorry, I'm just trying to get it lined up on my card properly. Thought I had that needle sitting right, but I didn't. Sorry guys, just cutting my threads. And cutting that excess lace. I've got to say, I actually like that side too, with the stitching across the top and the messy stitching there. Okay, so that's my pocket number 2. I really love it. Plain and simple yet effective. And then back to my straight stitch. It really is like a hurricane. It just takes off. It reminds me of a speaker. Oh dear, I've confused it again. Yeah, I know. Okay. And this, my friends, is why I don't usually do this on camera. Okay, oops. It's like a comedy of errors. I'm also looking around the camera again, so every now and then I move my head and my vision is impaired because, see, I had that pretty messy stitching at the back again. I really like it. Maybe that's because it's my signature. Like the messy stitching queen. Okay. Haha, you thought I'd forget that, didn't you? Oh, that wasn't even focused. Probably a good thing. I'm the world's worst sewer. Okay, so again, just cutting off my threads and my excess lace and pocket number 3. So I will quickly turn the camera around and show you what they're like all together. See you in a moment. Hello everybody, so I just wanted to pop back on here and show you the final pockets. They're not over embellished, but I really wanted to showcase that beautiful paper, so I think they've turned out really pretty and will look amazing in the journal. So thank you so much for joining me while I created these things. Please like my video if you like what you've seen and subscribe if you'd like to see future videos. Thank you all again, and I look forward to crafting with you again very soon. Happy crafting everybody. Bye for now.